what on the scorecards was a dominant performance. Can you assess the performance yourself and tell us how you feel about it?
It was a good strategic win. We went in there, we threw some haymakers, and I stayed focused, listened to my corner, and I felt like I showed a more advanced fighter, and that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Absolutely. You also showed you could take a little bit of damage to those lower legs, or the leg, if you like, from those kicks. How much did that affect you at the beginning of the fight?
Mentally, it was something that I definitely had to adjust to, and I saw that and listened to my corner and the commentators telling me that I had to adjust to that. But physically, I felt it a lot. But I'm a tank. We practiced forward. Throwing those leg kicks, we knew it was going to come. So it was a welcome thing.
It's crazy that you said you can hear the commentators. I'm assuming that's something that you wouldn't normally hear when the crowd is there. So was that kind of giving you extra feedback?
It was there. It worked in my favor, so I love it. Next time I'm down.
Look, De Castro seemed to kind of turn off the gas a little bit from around the second round. Were you aware that it looked like he might have hurt his foot or his leg at that point?
Yes, ma'am. When I got the advice to check kicks and stay light on my feet and attack his front leg, I saw his pace diminish, and his spirit was still there, and he wanted to move, which was good for my favor. But mostly, as soon as I checked that first kick, he was deterred, and it kind of slowed him down. So kudos to that. Kudos to the advice. Kudos to my coaches, man. It was a great adjustment.
And where do you go next? Obviously, you're really evolving still as a fighter, just 2 years now in the UFC. You want to climb up those rankings. What would be a fight that would make sense for you next?
All right, number 15. I'm all about earning it. I've been about earning it since I came in this league. I've been about being a respectful monster and earning my place, earning my throne, being the most dominant fighter in the game, and developing into that. Not coming in and trying to take it or trying to say that I am, but proving it every single fight. So I feel like the best way to do that is to start with number 15. Take everybody's spot. Let's just go down the list. Go down the list, man.
We're talking about going down the list. You've already said you'd quite like to come back on Wednesday, then again on Saturday. You're used to, as a footballer, playing every week. So, whether Dana White's going to allow that to happen, do you feel ready to jump back in again?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw some ice on this leg. Couple of days, get some bruising down, and then we're back. We're back in action. I'm gonna be back ready to practice. I'm gonna be back running. This doesn't stop. The kryptonite for me is not going to practice. It's not working. We go back to practice. We work. I am the best because I show up to practice. I show up and I grind, and that's what we're gonna do. Get better every single day. We need to fight.
And we've talked about, obviously, there being no crowd, but has the kind of practice backstage been different? It's a little while for us to get to talk to you now after you come out of the cage. We know you go to medical and pick up your check, that kind of thing. But has the procedure afterwards been a little bit different? Any testing when you come out of the cage?
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't even go back to your locker room, and that's how. Excuse me. That's how it's kind of been this whole trip. It's been off the wall. It's been the amazing UFC staff just taking it as it goes and battling against COVID and keeping us as safe as possible, man. And it's been a circus, but it's been a well put together one after another circus, and you just had to roll with the punches, man. And I think this was the perfect card to do it. We had a lot of professionals and we had a lot of craziness, and we made it work.
Well, congratulations on your performance tonight. Hope you have a well-deserved celebration.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Danny Segura from USA Today and MMA Junkie.
Hey, Greg, congrats on the victory. How did it feel to fight without a crowd? Would you say you prefer fighting with a crowd or without?
It doesn't matter to me, man, as long as I get to fight. When the crowd's there, that's what I'm used to, dude. I get hyped up. I love my fans. I'm here to entertain these guys. It's all about bringing the show to them. But without the fans, I still know they're there watching on TV, but I get to hear my coaches. Everything's clear and concise, and it's a whole other level of focus. It's literally like a sparring match for the whole world.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just it's a sparring match for the whole world to see.
Yeah, so you have no preference, really. It's kind of, like
either way.
Either way it works for you. And about the training camp, you mentioned something very interesting early in the week. Like you were driving back and forth to Florida, and you kind of did your camp in back in your home and Florida.
Well, yeah, when the UFC calls, when Dana White calls, I'm gonna say, yeah, I got his back. So I accepted the first one, and got canceled. So I drove home, and it was looking like it wasn't gonna happen. And we called it back on, so I drove back to camp and called it off again. Like I said before in the interview, it was a pleasure and an honor to be considered for those cards, anyways, because I'm a 1-year guy. But got called back again, so I took the 19 hours again, man. You know, I'll go back as many times as possible. But I didn't really want to fly because of my asthma. It's upper respiratory, so I stayed on the road, man, and put those hours in.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned how like one of your main coaches there at ATT, I don't know if it still is, but Dean Thomas, and you know he's no longer at ATT. Will you still be at ATT, or how will you manage your training moving forward?
Yeah, it's ATT Nation all day, man. You know, I came forward to this camp with new coaches. Steve Bruno handled my camp like a champ. We came back with better condition, better focus than ever. Michael Saltos, assistant coach, was here. Training partner was amazing. Conan Silva was a grade A team. You know, they adjusted like a number one gym would, the number one gym in the world would, and I had to do my adjustment, man. And I think the bond between us is gonna thicken, and we're gonna come back with even more adjustments. You know, Greg Hardy is gonna be in a more advanced fighter next fight, and sky's the limit, guys. Nothing's changed.
Congrats on the win. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
And last, we have Jay Anderson from Cage Side Press.
Hey, congratulations on the win, Greg. When we talk about your development, I know it's not the knockout, the big finish that you want, but how important is the cage time that you got tonight?
It's crucial. You know, and I hope people see every single fight that there's something new. There's a different element of my fight that advances every single fight. We work on something new every single camp, and we advance every single camp. And when I get that ring time, that's my practice. That's my those are my champ rounds. That's the time that I get to develop into a well-rounded fighter in front of the world. That's the chance that I get to go against actual professionals, you know, and fight these guys that I haven't had the chance to go against my whole life or practice against my whole life. So every second I get in the ring is valuable. In the octagon, excuse me.
And the adjustments that you had to make with the coaching change, I mean, did it feel any different in your corner tonight?
In my corner, no. You know, I'm used to adjusting on the fly, man. In the NFL, players come and go, coaches come and go, but it's about adjusting and understanding that they wouldn't give you somebody that's not the best, and that's the same at the American Top Team. You know, they gave me the best. They gave me the guys that get the job done. I adjusted and we conquered, plain and simple.
And last one for me, you were very honest in the fight week interview that you did, where you said, you know what, I'm terrified of the coronavirus. I've got asthma, but I chose to fight anyways. When you hear that someone like Jacare has tested positive, what goes through your mind at that point?
Yeah, I was shook. You know, like I just said a second ago, I literally found out minutes or maybe hours before I found out that Jacare was positive, that I didn't have it. So, you know, I was sitting in suspense, no clue. Was trying to train. I was cutting weight, actually. You know, I cut 22 pounds every fight. So I'm cutting weight, trying to figure out if I'm about to die or not, freaking out, man. And then he finds out he has it. And it's just, you know, it's demoralizing, dude. You know, it messes with your head. And then just being worried, you know, I'm all about being a team guy, you know, being worried for Jacare, man. We've been on, I think, 1 or 2 cars together. It's a lot, you know.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. And of course, all the best to Jacare as well.
Yes, sir. God bless me.
Thanks, Greg. You're done. Have a great night. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.